Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Cameron with Exodus Trail Cameras, and I just wanted to throw you a quick reminder to make sure you're subscribing to our channel. Also hit that bell notification so you are notified every time we post a video. We really hope you're enjoying the content we're bringing you. We're working super hard, and today we actually have something pretty fun. I'm gonna walk you through the property that I've been hunting in Pennsylvania for quite some time. My family's also been hunting that for quite some time, and I put some trail cameras in a couple areas that I've never been to before, so excited to check those out. And with that being said, I also think I found the buck that I'm going to be chasing this year, so stick with me to find out what that buck looks like. And we're 3 days away from the PA archery season opener. I couldn't be more excited, so let's get right to the video. Thanks for watching, guys.
It is July 23rd. Cameron and I are in the great state of Pennsylvania. Just got off Interstate 80. We were headed to a property that Cameron has access to. He's been hunting for a couple years, been running trail cameras, been on some good deer, and yeah, we're making a day trip out here to check it out, see what's going on, do a little summertime scouting, hang some cameras, and want to watch him get a game plan put together for this year. So it's going to be good to have a different face in front of the camera today. I'll be behind the lens.
So we just got to the furthest west that we can drive our truck to. Basically, we just came down an old logging road that attaches the east and west side of the property. My family's been hunting this property for 50-something plus years and spending all their time kind of up at the top, easiest accessible place. Up on top, there's a bunch of ag. Down here connects the Clarion River. It's kind of like hill country, river bottom, ag hybrid property. We have a lot of different terrain. So right now we're gonna walk the farthest west that we can go and hang some cameras, check out some new spots. I have Chad with me. He's gonna give me a new perspective on the property. We're gonna get some cameras set up, a little bench system down here at the bottom. That's where we're gonna spend a lot of our attention, kind of down in the hill. It's a little harder to get to. A lot of people aren't going to be down there. This piece of property is private. It's by permission, but the farmer wants all the deer killed. So this actually gets a lot more pressure than a lot of public land does around here because of the terrain, because of the access, and because of the number of deer that are up here. So it's a little tougher, but holds a special place in my heart. So I have a goal to kill a big buck with my bow on this property, and we're going to try to get it done. We just walked up out of that bottom, and we came up to the top, and it's just a big, high, grassy, weedy field. There's a fence row here, and there's a fence row here. There's 3 edges here that come together. We actually looked at this spot on onX earlier, and we wanted to get a camera on this fence row because there's a spot right up on the edge of this that no one's allowed to hunt. Absolutely zero hunting. There's a cornfield right up there. So we just kicked a little buck up out of this weeds. So we're gonna get a camera hung up in a tree, kind of angling at this intersection here, right where this all comes together. So looks like a pretty good spot to pay our attention to. It's a spot I've never been, it's a spot I've never looked at. So I'm excited to be getting a different perspective on this, and this is number 1. This is our first stop, first spot.
So we just started. We came down where there was a point of interest down here, where there was a stand of white pines, and it looked like it had a transition, an opening that we wanted to check out and walk that edge to see if there was any sign along that transition. We walked through there wasn't a whole lot of sign, and we came down to where there was some significant elevation change, where we thought we could catch a bench and head back east towards a truck. And the terrain got really rocky with some really steep banks, so we decided to come up about 50 feet. And when we came up, we found a textbook buck bed, horizontal cover, a down log or down tree to its back, some overstory here. Bed's about 4.5, 5 feet long, and sets up perfect with a north wind. The wind will be blowing over top this deer's back while he's looking out into this open, I guess, mature pine stand with a very, very steep bank dropping down to that river. So he has thermals coming up, wind to his back, and basically he can see and hear, you know, within anything within 100 yards here. So this is definitely 100% a buck, you know, textbook buck bed, kind of set up for hill country. So if you're to look at the topography of this, it's not necessarily on the top 1/3 of the peak elevation, but it sets up as the top 1/3 when you start looking at the significant drop off here, dropping down to the river. So this is like the thermal wind tunnel, whatever you want to call it, where the wind's blowing over top of this deer's back, has the thermals coming up, and basically can smell behind him, in front of him, and then you can see, you know, within 100 yards in any direction. So Cameron marked this on his phone on onX, and the cool thing is this sets up directly south of that very first transition or edge that we walked when we walked in across that creek. We walked through, I don't know, we walked through a transition that was probably 80 yards long and 50 yards wide, and this sets up directly south of that, probably, I don't know, 75, 80 yards. So I could definitely see this deer getting up, walking through that transition out towards those fence rows where we hung that camera, and then out into that cornfield or primary food source. So he definitely has this marked on his map, and see what happens come October.
Alright, so we just got to a spot where we're going to hang our second camera. We're not far from where we were just sitting, where my dad has hunted for years and years and years. Followed that point down. There's a major rub line that comes along this bench system. Rub's going up, rub's going down, and right where they meet, there's a red oak tree dropping a bunch of acorns. So we hung this camera here. It's going to catch the acorns dropping, feeding, trail. So looks like a pretty good spot. Probably get some bears on this camera too walking down here. So locked it up. We got a little creative with the camera setup. We have a down tree here, and we just rigged it up so it's locked up to this tree facing the red oak. Looks like a pretty dynamite spot for October, pretty dynamite spot in November, and who knows if they're hitting these acorns early season, might be a good spot for the early season too. So get this camera turned on and head to the next spot. What's going on, everyone? This morning, October 2nd, we are headed to Pennsylvania to check some trail cameras. We hung these cameras probably 2 months ago now, and I just haven't had a chance to get back up there and check them, so I'm excited. I've been hunting this property since I've been old enough to hunt. This property is a by permission property, so anyone that wants to hunt it can. It's just go to the farmer, hey, can I hunt your property? He wants all the deer dead. It's a typical Pennsylvania farmer. You tell him you killed one deer, and his response is that's it. So it's a hard property to hunt, but there are big deer, just the way the property lays out. It's along the Clarion River, and then on top of it's just all ag field. So it's pretty dynamite whitetail habitat, and there's some big deer living there. There's just a lot of people. So I took it as a personal challenge to kill a Pope and Young deer with my bow on this property. So that's what I'm setting out to do, and we're gonna go check some cameras and see if I got any shooters. So come along with me. It's gonna be a hot one. It's October 2nd, and the high is 82 degrees. So welcome to bow season, welcome to October. Let's go get it. All right, guys, today is October 2nd. I just got to my property in Pennsylvania. Like I said before, this is a by permission property, so anyone that talks to the farmer can hunt it. I have 2 trail cameras to check that Chad and I hung probably 2 months ago, I'd say. So we're gonna go check those, see what's on them. And I also brought an Exodus Render cell cam, and if I find anything worth hunting, I'm gonna hang that cell camera on them, and we'll monitor that as well. It's finally starting to look like October. Leaves are changing. Deer season opens up October 5th in Pennsylvania, so I'm 3 days before the season opener. I know I probably shouldn't be doing this right now, but hey, times get busy. You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so the first camera is over my shoulder at corner of this field, I just wanted to walk up here and walk along this edge, and then walk along this edge up here, see if any scrapes have opened up. I haven't checked the camera yet, so I don't know if there's anything even on it, but we'll walk up there and see what's going on. All right, so we just got to the first camera. It's an elevated set, so I got my climbing stick. I'll hop up there and see what we got, so bear with me. That truck is staying in the tree, and we're gonna check the next camera. So as I'm walking through, I'll keep doing some scouting and fill you in on what's going on. So right now I'm walking along a nice bench. So this drops off to the Clarion River. It just goes whoop, straight down, and then this incline goes right up into a bunch of ag fields, and this is a nice bench that goes, you can see, goes down that way, continues on. So we got a camera on this bench. July 24th it was actually the last time we were in here, so we're gonna check this camera and got some acorns here. Some acorns dropping. So we're gonna check this camera and potentially put that render up. So let's see if we can find it. I'll have to pull up my OnX, but we'll get it checked and let you know what's on it. Alright, I just have one more camera to go check. It's just right off this field back here. There was standing corn, and it looks like the farmer cut the corn, so I'm interested to see what happens with this camera. I'll probably take it down, but like I said, I have pretty high hopes for it. I also just talked to my uncle, and he has a camera even further down, so I'm gonna check those two here. I'm gonna leave the camera back in the truck because it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So I'm excited. Let's go get this last camera, and I'll check back in with you guys. All right, guys. So I just got back to the truck. As I was walking back there, my uncle called me and told me he had a pretty good amount of cameras up. So I'm actually gonna run and check those for him. My last camera I just checked, it was turned off and the card was gone. And that's right after I was just talking about how I quit coming back here just because there's so much human pressure. But as you can see on those other two cards, there are good deer up here. There's a lot of buck sign. There's a lot of deer sign. Just walking around, I saw so many deer. It's just something about this property, man. It's like, it just draws me in. It's a romantic thing. That's really all it is. And there's just an inner challenge within me that it's like you have to fulfill your goal of shooting a Pope and young deer on this property. So I'm gonna try to find one. I'm gonna go check my uncle's cameras, and he told me he checked them one time before, and there was a really good deer on that one camera. And he had a couple more in the area, so I'm gonna check those. We'll check back in with you guys. The next time you see me, I'll probably be back at the office checking those cards, because I'm not gonna put my uncle's cards in a card reader. So I'm gonna go pull those cards, swap them out, and we'll check back in. All right, what's up, guys? I just got back to the office and checked the cards for my uncle's cameras, and let me tell you, it looks good. That buck that my uncle said he had on his camera one time is a pretty consistent visitor. So I checked a lift 2 and I checked a couple treks, and let's check out and see what we got. I'm very excited about this deer. He is the deer that I will be hunting in Pennsylvania, that is for damn sure. He's a goal-fulfilling deer, and he will have my full attention. So, opening day in Pennsylvania archery season, I know where I'll be. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap on my Pennsylvania card pull. It started out pretty slow, and I was getting a little disappointed, but it ended with a bang. I have a big deer to go after, and there is a big cold front coming in this weekend for the season opener, and I couldn't be more excited. If you've already been out there hunting, drop a comment below. Let us know how you're doing, and for those that their season's just started or starting this weekend, good luck to you. Keep us updated with how you're doing. We'd love to hear it, and make sure you're sending in those Exodus trail camera pictures. We want to see the deer you're after, and good luck this season, guys.